Hey everyone, and welcome to Screams After Midnight TV edition. I am Peter, that is Tim. We are working our way through Tales from the Crypt, the original HBO anthology horror series. This is going to be season 3, episode 4. It's called Abra, Cadaver. Full spoilers for the episode, as always. You know, I would find this title so impressive. This Abra Cadaver is such a good title. However, iZombie used it last year as well, so I've already seen this title. So I saw it and went, that's fun, but been there, done that, not impressed. Even though this was 20 years earlier.
Yeah.
Let's ignore that fact for a minute. I saw the other one first. So, as good as the pun is, I'm not impressed. But, in all seriousness, this is an episode where two brothers are both doctors. And one has this crazy idea that even after we die, we are still aware of everything around us. We're still seeing, we're still sensing, we're still thinking. So we're still essentially kind of alive inside, but we can't move or speak or anything like that. And most of the episode is basically there's a flashback to earlier years when a prank that his brother pulled goes wrong and he ends up having a heart attack and his hand is damaged, his nerve damage in his arm means he can't be a surgeon anymore, so he has a bit of a grudge, and he uses his brother and kills him. So most of the episode is actually from inside the perspective of the dead brother, who is thinking about what he's seeing and he's reacting to stuff, but he has no control over it. So a lot of it is this POV stuff where they're doing stuff to his corpse. That sounds really dodgy. It's mostly medical stuff. It's hanging him up, it's putting him on the table, it's talking to him, because his brother has this theory that he is still understanding him, so he keeps talking to him, and that's kind of it. And of course there's the twist ending where he's technically wasn't dead, he was just sort of put into he was given this weird drug to simulate it, to keep him alive even though he had a heart attack, and then the double twist is that he then has another heart attack and dies anyway.
Basically, it's just a fake out to be like, oh no, it was all a prank, but then, oh wait, the thing we just showed you basically happens for real now.
Yeah, because also in the flashback, it was a prank that caused his heart attack, so it was like symmetry with the start of the episode. So Tim,
Yeah.
did you enjoy Abra Cadaver?
Not really. It was okay. I think I liked it a little better than last week's, which I really didn't like at all. But the main idea I think isn't bad. Like, it's pretty scary if you're, lifeless and can't move, but then people are doing all this stuff to you. They think you're dead. Like, oh, that's a good idea. And, I thought that was okay. But then just the fact that it all ends up being a prank kind of angered me. And then it angered me even more when they just end up doing the same exact thing anyway.
Yeah. Do you know, I would have actually given it a lot of respect had it just like they reveal it's a prank and he's proved to his brother that his theories are correct. Like, I would have been completely okay if they just ended it there and said, oh, this one ended differently from every other episode, where it's not ending on a really negative, bad thing.
Yeah. Now, I think we really need to talk about the brothers, the first prank that the brother pulls in the flashback.
And the flashbacks in black and white, yeah.
Which involves his girlfriend pretending to be
a corpse.
A naked corpse.
Yes. And he starts to fondle her, and he's sort of like his older brother, Martin. We need to start using the names because we just keep saying the brothers. So Martin and Carl. Martin's the older one. He's the one who has the prank played to him at the start, and he's the one who has a heart attack and then can't perform surgery anymore. So Carl, the younger brother, is like training to be a doctor right now, and he starts cracking these jokes about how she's really attractive, and he fondles her boob, and he takes his glove
They're
off.
In like the cadaver room, I guess. So they're all like corpses.
Yeah, it's in it's in the school part of like a university, so it's like where they go to train and stuff, and he's fondling her, and he takes off his glove and touches her with his bare skin, which obviously is kind of disgusting. She's a cadaver, but he's like, hey, bro. She reacted. Her nipple's hard. So then Martin, thinking of a proper scientific miracle going on here. Takes his glove off, goes in for a feel, just to see if he's talking bollocks or if she's actually alive or anything. And she wakes up and screams, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." And then another one of the corpses gets up. It's a guy who's got a prosthetic head on, and like other people run in, like, "Surprise, happy birthday!" Because this is how you start a surprise birthday party, with basically tricking your brother into a mild form of sexual assault.
Yeah.
Although actually, technically, I suppose it's mild sexual assault on him because he's been tricked into touching a boob.
Right.
She was aware of the boob touching. She agreed to those terms. It's him that's been tricked into it. I mean, that's probably the least egregious part for him, that he got to touch a boob. But like, yes, I think the point you're getting at, though, Tim, I've been on a bit of a ramble here. The point you're getting at is that he or she has agreed to this prank where her boyfriend's brother fondles her, not knowingly. He's not knowing what he's doing.
Like, I would just love to see the conversation that like led up to that, like where he approaches his girlfriend. He's like, "Hey, I got this great idea for a prank. You want to help me pull it off?" "Yeah, I love pranks." "Okay, so you're gonna be completely naked, and my brother's gonna come in." "All right, wait a minute, hold up there."
even just from his perspective, like, yeah, I've got this prank. I'm going to have my brother touch you when you're naked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get how either one of them wanted to do this.
Yeah, it's very, very surprising. Although I do give a lot of credit to the lengths these brothers will go to pull pranks.
Oh yeah, because as bad as that is, as much as that's a weird thing for both of them to be okay doing, is nothing compared to actually inducing a heart attack in your brother, and then giving him this magic drug that you've made that keeps his brain alive, just to prove that you can keep the brain alive during a heart attack and preserve it, kind of thing. Honestly, I kind of agree with this being okay. I kind of like some of the ideas. I think it's inventive because it is mostly from that POV. I do, however, think it's too long, and it actually is a longer episode. I checked the runtime; it's like 29 minutes. It's a bit longer than some of the recent ones. And
so I think it's hard for me because I was watching it at like 2 a.m. last night. I got home late and was like, "God damn it!"
But I legitimately could feel the length. It felt longer, and I think the whole POV thing was a fun idea, but it did last too long. Actually, here's a sort of mild complaint, and I guess it's kind of mild because it turns out at the end that he's not dead. But like Carl, when he's like supposed to be dead, and we think he's dead for like the majority of the episode, every time it cut to him, he was clearly breathing. And it was bugging the hell out of me. It was his neck. You could see his neck breathing. Like every single time you could see it. It was really distracting. I was like, I'm not suspending my disbelief here, but like.
And the other thing too is this seems like a pretty extreme length to go to someone who didn't seem that bad. Like, I mean, maybe he is a huge asshole and we didn't get a lot of it. Like, sure, he pulled that prank, but he was very apologetic afterwards, and it seemed like, maybe he's a little jerky, but, he just wanted it to be in good fun. Like, he wasn't...
Yeah.
He's not like, "Oh, I want to try to kill my brother."
As weird as the prank was, and as weird as it was that him and his girlfriend both wanted to do it, yeah, it was supposed to be just something stupid. And this is the thing, this is why I kind of liked before it did the second twist where he'd actually had a heart attack. Is that I thought, oh yeah, it makes sense that it was just a prank again, because he didn't really deserve to be killed. Like... If anything, I see the older brother now as more of the villain, because he's doing way worse stuff. And that's the thing, at the end of the episode, like, we don't see the older brother again, we don't see Martin again and his reaction to everything that's happened. But you can't just get this feeling, though, like, it's just ended badly for both of them. Like, he now has to live with the fact that he's killed his brother when he didn't want to. And, Carl's dead. And he is feeling stuff. He is feeling the blade cutting into his skin, and he talks about how the sense of touch is still there, and he's screaming in pain as the episode ends. Honestly, my favourite part of the episode is probably when we come back to the Crypt Keeper at the end, and he what was it he says? I remember what the start of the sentence was, but he says, "If you want to do this, just say ah," and he screams instead of just saying ah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, but. The main chunk of the episode just kind of goes on too long. There's like just a little bit too much of the... Because I think at a point I sort of went, no, you've lost the feeling of touch, because he says, "Oh, I've lost the sense of touch," which doesn't really add up because they twist it at the end and say, "Oh no, that's actually the last thing it goes." But okay, why did it not go like that the first time then when you were sort of induced into this? It's just weird. But so he basically says he can't feel anything anymore, but then he's still worried about the saw. He's still like, "Oh no, don't cut me, don't cut me." I'm like, well, at this point, like, you can't feel anything. What are you
Yeah.
fussed about? You know you can't come back to life. At least from your perspective, he does actually come back to life, but from his perspective, he thinks he's dead. He thinks he's done,
Yeah.
and he can't feel anything anymore. So why is he so scared?
I don't know. It's strange. I did kind of like the characterization of Martin, though. Like, I like the fact that he wasn't just some like bitter, super serious guy who's like like drinking himself to death or something. He was actually like kind of like chipper, and even when his brother's trying to talk to him, he kind of has a smile on his face because he knows he has him over a barrel. When he's talking about like, oh, like you went to like Haiti last year, and he's like, yeah, I believe you paid for that, didn't you? Like,
Yeah, he's okay. I think the problem I have with it though is that what he is doing, even when it turns out to be a prank, he's still induced a heart attack.
true.
He still made his brother have a heart attack to prove a point. Like, no.
Which I would say that these brothers should probably know that like their family has to have a history of weak hearts or something.
At this point, yeah.
'Cause, like any prank they pull, they suffer a heart attack.
I like the idea that somehow maybe Carl somehow still survives, right? And then they're both all right. Thank the heavens that we both survived these ordeals, right? Let's promise never to pull any pranks on each other ever again. And then Carl's like, "Yeah, right. I'm getting you back.
Yeah.
I'm getting you back." And they just keep playing pranks on each other and keep almost dying every single time. They get to their old age and they're like, all right, we've had 7 heart attacks each. Maybe we should stop these pranks. It's like, nope, you did the last one. I'm getting you back. I'll think of something.
I'd watch that if that was like a 10 episode Netflix series or something. I'd watch that.
The season finale will be one of them like burning down the building the other one's in, only to reveal, oh no, you were safe the whole time. It was a controlled destruction. It was a controlled demolition. Oh, what about the other 50 people who died? Oh well, that's all in good sport.
Yeah.
I'm here to prank you, not them.
They were paid actors.
They accepted the risk. They signed off on the risk assessment. They knew this was a possible one-way trip. Oh dear. Yeah, it was an okay episode. It was on a bit too long, but the ideas are kind of fun. There you go. There you go. That's Abra Cadaver. Let us know what you thought of this one in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. Get us on Twitter at mild_fudge for channel updates. I'm at Wibble89. Tim's at Tim Vergulish if you want to get us on there individually. But that's us, guys. So thanks very much for watching. Keep watching some scary TV, and we will see you next time.